We are in Golang Champion series. Today we are going to learn JWT token. It's a sometimes we call JOT or it's a JWT or JSON Web Token. So what is this JSON Web Token? It's a JSON Web Token is a proposed internet standard for creating data with optional signature encryption, which payloads hold JSON data that assert some of the number of claims. So that's a standard definition, but here we are going to use JWT for authentication and authorization. So how it will work? First, we'll create a sign in, like sign in API. There will be we can say sign in API or a token API, because when client wants to talk to server, and we need authentication and authorization. So first what we do, the client will talk to server and ask some token. So when the client talk to the server, it will give user ID and password, and the server has user ID and password. If it match, then server will return a token. It's a JWT token. So that's the authentication. So it's a client is authenticated, client got a token, and in the server side, we put the rule how to generate the token. So maybe we'll put duration, how long the token is good. So we'll put some expiration date over there for the token, and also we need some key. So some secret key we need, and that key is something that we can put in a config. The based on that key, the token is generated, and the client will get the token. So the next time when client request some API, so that API, that client needs to send the token, and if the token is valid, then serve that response. So let's see some UI. So in this UI, like let's say when we send a request, so request we send this, but before that, I want to see some API here, that either that name you can put either token or sign in. So if you go to sign in, and then we hit we call that sign in, then we need to post the username and a password, and then that gives us the token. And next time when we call get book info or get book info bidirectional, we need to pass the token first, like here, and in a metadata we can pass token, and that token value you can pass. And if that is valid, then only it will gives the uh, result. Here we'll get the response, otherwise not. So we'll do that. We'll check through this UI also. We'll check through the postman also. So let's create a sign in API here. Let's write the code for that. So we are in a book proto, and in a book proto, let's create a service here, new service. So let's say our service is a login. Let's say it's a login, and inside this you can say RPC or you can say just token, RPC token, and login is a service, and from here our API will be the token, and then we need to pass user ID and the password. So based on that, we can verify and get the token. So for the user ID and password, let's create a request. So message get token request, and you can pass username is equal to 1, string password 2, get token request, and I can pass this thing here. And so when you call this token API, then it's going to return some tokens. So it's a returns, and get token response. Let's create this also. Message, and it's a string token, so 1, and this is going to be a string. So that's all this is, and we need one semicolon here. If everything looks correct, then there won't be error when we generate the gRPC code. Go to the readme and call this. Okay, so there is no error, so it's generated the gRPC code. Let's call this. So that's a book server, and just now we added login, so there may be some login server. Let's check that. Router go pb.login, or maybe this is server for the book server. You can create another server, type login server struct pb is good here. Let's see, so YouTube go, my post, everything good. Yeah. Okay, so inside this I can say pb.login server. Now I can see pb.login server. Okay, so we got this function. Now we have to implement the function here for the login server. Let's go here and see there is a function called token, and this one too. Copy this, come to router go, and this should be this function should be under this server, so I can put func l star login server, and our code goes to this place. Context, so I can say it's a ctx, and it's a request. So, and we need to implement this function also, so func we need something like pb dot here. We'll see how this must implement, how this function is implemented. Nothing, it's just like this. Func and call this. Okay, now we need to register. We have to write the logic here, but before that we need to register this login server. So we'll come here, in this place. So pb.register login server. Then we have G. Okay, that's fine. We can write the G, and then you need a server also S. So how to get this S? This is object, and we need object for this one, login server. So let's create the login server here itself. And I can pass L here. So in this way I can register this. This is ready, and here we can write some logic to generate the token. So for the generating the token, first we print here, like let's see, this API is good. Login page. Okay, let's run it and check whether everything is good or not, and then we'll proceed. Missing return, undefined get token response, where 20 router go 24. Yeah, so this should be pb dot, we need to send the response here. So for now I'm going to send a response. Inside this, let's say it's a token is equal to abc, or I can say my token. We'll modify this logic, but we just want to check this API. Good. And then return the response. Uh, 28 comma. Oh, this should be address, so that's a pointer, so we need a and here. Let's try again. Outer 31, return response and error. Okay, so error is nil. Let's say it's a nil. Okay, it's good. Let's go to the terminal and run the gRPC UI terminal. Got here, we'll see there is a book and there's a login. So go to the login, and I want to give some username and password. It's come token is my token, and it's a login page. Okay, so we got, so here we need actual token, so we need actual JWT token. So for the JWT token we need to write a function here for the JWT. So for the JWT let's write a struct here. So we need what we need, for JWT token, we need to create a token. So we need a function for creating the token, and then we need a function to verify token. So I'm going to write this function. I want to make it the part of server, or this we can make this login is part of this login server. No, login server is for, yeah, let's make it func login server. So I need a two functions here. I need not a login server. Let's create another struct like type, and let's say we can make it something like JWT manager, and then a struct, and we need a secret key. So secret key is something you can put in a config file, and also we need a duration, token duration. For that, time dot duration. So I imported, so time dot duration. So if you see, I imported this time here, so that's a new change again here. So for the JWT manager we need a secret key, and we need a duration. So how long the token will be alive. So you can give 5-10 minutes, and after 5 minutes the token will be expired. Okay, so that's good. From this I can create a function here, like let's say we need to call this thing from somewhere, like maybe you can call from main, or yeah, I think main, that's good. So maybe for this I need some function called func new JWT manager, and secret key string token duration, and that's also time dot duration. And then it's going to return this JWT manager. So return secret key token duration, yeah. So this function will call in a main, and in a main we pass some secret key and some duration, and we can utilize this data. So I'm going to create two functions here. One is generate the token, and another is verify the token based on this secret key and the duration. And that's the two useful functions we are going to use. One is in authentication, another is for authorization. So in authentication we can use the generate token, and authorization we can use verified token. So let's do this. So for the JWT token, this is our structure, this is our function where we are passing this thing. But for the JWT specific, we need a specific struct that is called user claims. So that's the new things, and struct, and we need a JWT. So we do not have this JWT, we need to import. So come here and go more tidy, so it will bring this. Okay, let's call this thing here in a user claims again. So no, so it's not coming. Let's call this standard claims. Let me correct this thing first. Okay, this time it took. Permission denied. Still it's not coming. Let me run this. Router 173. But do not need this comma here. Undefined JWT. Yeah, that was the stuff. Let's go on the top. Okay, it's good now. So we import it correctly. Let's go to the end. So writing this JWT claims, that's a standard function from JWT, and then we need username, JSON is the username, and role. So role is needed, like when we try to authorize, then based on the role we can authorize some of the APIs, like maybe the admin can access all the API, you know, other role can access very few APIs. So for that, I'm not going to add a lot of logic here, but this contains the username and the role. Based on the role, we can also decide things, but I will show you where I'm going to compare this logic. So this is one thing is important for the JWT, and then this is our function, and where we are passing a secret key and the token duration. The next thing is we need two functions, one for authentication and for authorization, and then that's all. After that, we can call this function to generate the token and also verify the token. So let's write this function here. So func and JWT manager. And say generate. Here we can pass username and pass the role. And it's going to return string error. So it will return generated token, so that's why a string. And if there is error, it will return the error. So here we need to create the object for claims, and this is user claims. And in user claims, you can say standard claims, JWT standard claims. And here you can say expires at. So that's a struct. If inside this struct there is a expires at, and there are other variables. So this time we are going to use expires at. So that's why expires at, and here we can say time dot now. So when we generate this, then from time dot now, you can say add and j dot duration is this token duration, yeah, dot next. Okay, so whatever the duration, like let's say it's a 5 minutes, then we added the 5 minutes in a standard claims, and we're saying, okay, this token, when we generate, the token will be expired in the next 5 minutes. So that's the logic here we are putting here. And then we need the username. So username, we are passing the username here. So this is the username what the client will send. So that's the username. And the role, I'm just saying whatever the role we'll pass here. So that's all for this, and then generate the token. JWT and new with claims, JWT sign in method. So we can choose whatever is needed for the production. So I'm just going to choose something. So which is 256. And then here we pass the claims. It's good here. And then at the end we return token dot sign string, signing string, signed string. Okay, and then some byte. And then we need to put the secret key. So secret key we have already passed here, so that is j. Okay, so j dot secret key, and it will generate this. Let's call this function. So first we call a new chart manager. So whenever someone will sign in, we'll call this function in this place, my token here. Yeah, we can change the code, but for the sign in page I'm saying, okay, so new jot manager, and here you can pass some secret key. So my secret, that is my secret key, and the duration I'm saying time dot duration pipe time dot minute 5 minutes. So it's jot manager jm, and with help of this jm I'm calling jm dot generate. This is going to generate, and here we'll pass username. So we need to get the username. So username is inside this request, so let's pass this request dot get username, and then pass some role. It's admin, no, not a role, but what is this? Let's see, generate, yeah, so role. So we'll get the token and the error. So if error not equal to nil, then in this case we can return nil and error, and if you get the token, then this time we return the token. So we'll put the token here. Let's run for syntax and check whether it's getting the token or not, and the last portion will be then verification. Router go 33, return. Okay, allow, and go to the terminal, open this, come to this place, go to the login, and then we have the token page. We are not checking with any user, but we'll check that. I'm just saying ncase, and the password is something ncase. Invoke this. Okay, we got the nice token here, and we need to implement this token for the verification, and we'll do that in a interceptor. Okay, but add few more logic here, like let's say when we generate the token, like saying get username, but I'm going to add some logic. If request dot get username is equal to ncase, and request dot get password is equal to ncase, then only we'll go and generate the token. Call this function here. We need this token outside, so token history. Let's run it once again, verify this. Token declare but not used. Okay, I think it's good. Okay, so we are done with login page, where we pass the user and password, and based on this it's going to generate the token. And this logic is actually you need to handle this properly. The password, it's not good to handle like this, but for the simplicity, for understanding, just adding this. But usually we get it from the database. The password, we get this one also from the database, and compare this. If the user and password good, then proceed. So in this way we can generate token, and once we generate token, the next portion is we have to verify. So next time whenever we make any API call, we first verify whether token is good or not. If the token is good, then only serve that API. So for that, let's write another function. This for verification. And in a verification, we pass the access token. And this is going to return this user claims and any error. So here in this place, we are going to verify this. So parse with claims, and put it access token here, whatever the access will be. This is for the verification, so access token, and then object for user claims, and then func token, JWT token, this anonymous function is going to return interface error, token dot method, and we need to call here like this when we give this. So for we added algorithm 256, so we have to give the matching things here. So 256, whatever we added, that's not for the production, that for the just testing our code, we are just doing this. So let's do JWT dot method. Yeah. So let's utilize this. If not okay, if there's some issue, then return nil unexpected signing method. That will be the error. Otherwise, return byte. Sure, that's JWT manager J dot secret key. Nil. Okay, that's good. We're closing the function here. If error not equal to nil, then return nil, and you can write some nice function in valid token. And if the verification is good, then we can return the token. So for that, we can say the claims okay token. We have used here token dot claims dot user claims. If this is also not okay, then return nil, 120 error f, then invalid token claims. Okay, that's the last line. We can return claims nil. Let's run it, check for any syntax. It's good. So our verification function is ready. So next thing is we have to call this verify function in a right place. Okay, so go to our interface. So our interface is somewhere stream interceptor, unary interceptor. So let's put this code here for now. So in a unary interceptor or a stream interceptor, in a both case we need to get the metadata. So the metadata is that the access token. So whenever we call the API, we need to pass the access token also. So how to get this access token, we need to write the code for this. So metadata, that's also I imported for the metadata, this one. So metadata, and then you can say from metadata. Why it is not coming? Did I import the wrong things? Let's see. No, this is not the right things. So we need to google.golang.org gRPC, and then from here call metadata. 120. Okay, metadata now. Okay, now it's good. So from incoming context, yeah. So from incoming context, we can pass this context here. If not okay, then return nil, and you can say status. So we need to pass some gRPC status. We did the gRPC status. Let's import that also. Metadata. $120. Yeah. Status dot. Okay, so we need this status f, then we need quotes. Okay, this also need to be imported. Okay, so we added this also. I'll go to this 120. Okay, yeah, so we got now go search. So this should be unauthorized, so there should be unauthenticated. Yeah, so unauthenticated code start unauthenticated, and then pass the authorization. Token is not provided. Okay, so we're good here. Now we need, so from the metadata we got the MD, and from incoming MD we got this MD, and from the MD we need to get the key. If there's any error it will come here, and then after that maybe you can say if not okay, then metadata is not provided. And now from the MD we want to get the values. So MD and authorization. So this is our key we are going to pass when we call the API. So whatever we want you can give this. So authorization. For now I'm giving this authorization. If length values is 0. If there is nothing there, then also we can return some error. And here we can say authorization token is not provided. Good. Now we'll get the access token. So access token is the values 0. So we got the access token. Now we need to verify based on this access token. So we need to object, let's say JWT. We can pass this object for just for the simplicity. I'm just going to create the object once again. New JWT manager. No, but the thing is, let's see the verify functions once again. What we are using from the J. So from the J we are using the secret key. Okay, so from the J the secret key, and what's the other one? So I think we're good because we're just using a secret key here. From this I think we can create the new object, that will be fine. So I was just thinking to reuse the same object, but I think we'll be fine. So we'll come to this place, create the new manager. Here we can, okay, so but in this case we need exactly same secret key. So we are going to, if you create the new object, it's not a good idea, but you know, in order to make the video shorter, I'm just going to call this function again. Same thing, this one. Anyway, we do not need this, we just need the object so that we can use the my secret here. So Let's create this subject again. Yeah, this is already a long video. So 120. Yeah, this is unary interceptor. Okay, we call this JM, and with this subject we call this JM dot verify, and we have to pass the token, so we can pass the token here. Then this is going to return user claims and then error. If error not equal to nil, then return nil. Status error if ports dot unauthenticated authorization, can say authorization token is authorization token is invalid. But then everything is good, then we are going to return handler ctx. So let's check this code and see everything is good here. Run it. 120. There is syntax error. Is this syntax expected name or 120? So from incoming we're passing the syntax. Metadata from incoming context. Unexpected return. Okay, so what is, okay, so in this case we return nil and then error. I think that's looks good. Oh, I didn't save this. Okay, that's the thing. Okay, 132 access token. I need a new variable. Okay, let's run again. User claims, that's also 135. We need a new variables. Error is already defined somewhere. I think that's complaining. One undefined user claims. Let's make it error 1. Save it, run it again. 135 user claims declared and not used. We not use the user claims from. Okay, let's run it, and this time what is the username? NKS and NKS. Okay, go to the terminal, open this gRPC and generate the token, login, and in case based on that it's going to, okay, which one I'm calling? Oh, okay, so proto login. So we need to handle the logic here. Like if it is the function is the login, then we do not need any authorization token the first time. So because this time we have written this unary interceptor, and we have added the logic, so we have to skip that logic also. So let's handle that also. Unary interceptor here, and inside this we can say if strings import that also strings, and then contains info dot full method. If the full method contains name, it's a token, like strings to lowercase, strings are to lower, contains this. So in this case, return handler and handler cpx and request. Let's try to run this time. It's good. Go to the login page, and then again put the ncase and ncase and password also ncase. Run this time. Okay, so we got the token this time. Let me save this token, and I know this token is valid for 5 minutes. Copy this token and now call another API. So if I call this proto book and get info, book info, and if I put something, any case, it should not return, it should return the error, authorization token is not provided. So this time you cannot authorize, so we need authorization token. So here the key in a code we have put authorization, that's the key and the value. And now if I invoke this thing, it should work. Yes, it should work. So that's we did authentication and also authorization. Let's try the same thing in a Postman. So we know the token is already good for the 5 minutes. So if I run this, authorization token is not provided, so we have to provide this. So let's pass in a header and key. I'm going to put some key here. Or authorization basic bearer token, JWT bearer. Yeah, so one of this logic API key, maybe try with API key. Okay, authorization, and then we pass this token here. Let's try. Yeah, it's good. So yeah, it's a little bit long video, but eventually we did this authentication and authorization using JWT. So that's all for today. Thank you.